Well, this is my voice. You hate it. I hate it. Anyway, it's about 20 degrees below fuck this. Piece of shit with a 318 swapped into it. Sketchy as all hell. And, you know, cold as fuck. So anyway, I got this from a neighbor of mine. He wanted it out of his yard. Understandable. To start it, you take this little white speaker wire, and you take that little white speaker wire. You make sparks, and Jeep should go vroom. You can't do a fucking thing until spring, unless it's four-wheel drive. On these Arctic jobs, you want to make sure you have the properly rated fuel cell for the task at hand. I do not. We're gonna see if I can get the hood open one-handed without fucking dying. Oh, there's some coolant. That's nice. I didn't want to shovel snow today, mostly because I'm lazy. Oh, I've been looking for that. Okay, one herniator and 2 slip discs. I fucking hate snow. Have the carbon monoxide 300 on there for a while. Hopefully it doesn't catch on fire. If the wiring hasn't already, I think we're good. And now the jet heater died, so we're gonna hope that severely overfilling the tank is going to fix this. What a fucking sad Christmas tree. Fuck you, EPA. It's 2:30 in the afternoon and the sky is already getting that pink of you're gonna be working in the dark. So that's nice. We're gonna just see if it cranks over because I'm impatient. There we go. Getting my fat ass up here is not fun. I'll try to film heading out, but, you know, I'm retarded and only have one camera. For those wondering, we do actually have some oil pressure. Well, not now, but, you know. I tell you what, this is gonna get old pretty fucking quick. Okay, now fucking work. Okay, Jesus Christ. We made it about 7 fucking feet. And now it wants the starting fluid again. So, here we go. I think there's some ice in the carburetor. I don't know, we are pissing coolant like crazy. Here we go again. I hate this hood with such a burning passion right now. Have one marker light, so that's nice. Fucking Christ! Well, would you look at that? We actually have taillights. Every now and then, to get it to idle, you gotta clear it out. Come on. There you go. Well, I call that somewhat a victory. Happy 2023, everybody. It's a brisk 20-ish degrees outside right now. We're having a bit of a heat wave. You don't need to worry about scratching the paint when you don't have any. Now, I did just repaint the hood last fall a nice satin black, so we're going to be a little more careful with that. As I'm here giving this car literally no respect, I'm going to take a second to tell you It's actually kind of fucking nice. Like, there's metal the entire fucking way down. It's getting nice and toasty now. And there's the dump duster in all its glory. It's a nice little car. Unpopular opinion, but I think it looks better than the 3rd gen Charger in terms of design. I forgot where I left my snow brush, so we're going to adapt and overcome. Isn't it amazing how much time you can waste doing absolutely fucking nothing? Boy, I've done a little bit of research. I googled some shit. This is a 91 through 95 Wrangler YJ, and I only know that because it has the plastic fuel tank. These Hot Wheels keychains, by the way, are kind of cool. I fucking hate this hood! Sucks when you only have one charged battery. Fuck, the sky looks pretty right now. Now to get my fat ass in here, and we'll see how happy it is today. Oh, the car, not my ass. We're gonna just try to build some oil pressure first. Or not, I'm sure that's fine. There we go. Where are the windshield wipers? Oh, that's violent. Okay. I wouldn't say it actually works, but there's all the speeds. Let's see. Okay, that gauge doesn't work. That gauge doesn't work. That gauge doesn't work. Alternator gauge does work. I don't know if that's supposed to be for a clock or tack or whatever. None of the climate control shit works. It's just on the little switch there right now. You can see how clean all the wiring is. This shit though, this does work. This motor has 240,000 plus miles on it. I'm gonna shovel out in front of the front tires a bit because it's a bitch and doesn't want to go anywhere in the snow. I don't know why this piece of shit never starts up this nice during the summer. Fuck, that's gorgeous. These are literally useless. We're already spinning, which is nice. Feather it, feather it, feather it, feather it. Burn out. And park. Ah, nice and toasty. I just scraped it down to dirt in front of the tire that wants to party. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. What a useless piece of shit. Well, we are, yeah, we're stuck on flat ground. Well, it's been an amount of time later. You can see here, actually, how the tread wore into the fucking ground. Tomorrow I'll try to uncover the Mazda, not like any of you want to actually see that. Well, another marketplace no-show. Not like I wasted hours digging out the fucking car or anything, but that's fine. My fuel delivery apparatus is not sufficient for this, apparently. Ran out of gas before we even got going. That's a lot of fucking oil. Jesus. So now that the fumigation tent is warmed up a bit, I think we'll just mess with the Challenger today. I didn't take it apart, so I have no hardware and no fucking idea of the order of operations here, but we'll see how it goes. Vintage 1974 Dodge Challenger lower rear quarter patch panel. I know what I got, don't you fucking dare lowball me. I wasn't disappointed because I didn't have expectations to begin with. This side looks even worse, so that's fine. You can see the old snow tire bias plies. You want to make sure you spray this highly flammable chemical, pretty much, well below the operating temps it suggests in an enclosed carport with a space heater running. Yeah, good idea. You want to make sure you do as little prep as humanly possible. Gotta make that battery tray come back around. You just want to really seal in the flavor. Okay, so now while out in the fresh air, it's getting a little trippy in there. I do know that's not the way you're supposed to do that. I'm not even sure how I'm going to get this fender on here yet. We've named this the Twizzler because that's what we expect it to do. Well, you might notice this looks a little bit different. This is a glorified parts car, and this is what I could afford for evident reasons. This side looks almost respectable, if you didn't know any better. It's all complete, just gotta figure out how the fuck it goes back together. I figured I would decode the fender tag on this piece of shit, because all two of you might find that somewhat interesting. This car is a 74-year model. Factory with a 318 two-barrel, supposedly rated at 230 horsepower. I call bullshit on that. White vinyl bucket seats. Supposedly a white and black interior combo. Full vinyl top in white. I'm wondering if that's what this W was standing for, was to mark it as a white top car. You can tell it was a vinyl top car by, the way that it is. So it also says it's supposed to have a sport hood and simulated louvers. I have neither of these. Factory color was burnished red metallic. You can kind of tell that's what it used to be around all the surface rust, and I think this was on fire at one point, but who am I to judge? Roof drip rail moldings. Check. Dual chrome mirrors. Wheel well moldings. I'd be happy with just a wheel lip at this point and less mold. 3-speed wipers with interior hood release, along with a tachometer and solid-state AM radio. You might notice we're kind of missing that here. I do have this dash that's out of another car. Tinted glass. Now here's where it gets slightly interesting, at least for me. It claims it is actually a rally package car. Front disc brakes. Longitudinal black stripe. I don't know if you can see that, but there's some sort of weird faded vinyl here, but it's not black. And last but not least, we have an L2 and a 991. I wonder if one of them might be for this luggage rack on the back. I figured we'd mess with the diesel a bit today. I need to clear all the junk out of the bed here so I can start up the heater and let that defrost all the windows, because you can't fucking see anything. You'll want to be careful not to disturb the snow around your license plate, because reasons. Well, it appears I have no rag or paper towel or anything in the truck to dry off these thawed windows. Something about this just feels right. That was a cool place. The mayor of Talkeetna, a cat. Well, this clearly wasn't the video that I wanted to film. I had a whole skit in mind about bodywork and how to not do it, using the truck as an example, but nobody would leave me the fuck alone today. This is what us professionals do when you're tired of shit falling out of your goddamn truck. Pay no mind that there's like nothing behind it, but just put that back. Now we're gonna do just a touch of bodywork, even though it's far too cold for this shit to actually work properly. This majestic snow berm you see in front of you right now is a Chevy Beretta, late 90s, whatever, front-wheel drive V6 piece of shit. It's pretty much in the crushed pile, but I do know it runs and drives. It just knocks like a Jehovah's Witness and has a blown-out head gasket. Just for reference, this is how much snow we've gotten so far this year. The fun part, though, about fucking around with something that you don't give a shit about is you don't give a shit about it. Whoops. There's a woodpecker over here somewhere. I don't know if you can hear that. All I know is that there's no coolant in it because most of it's in the oil. At least the battery is still here. It's the only side post on the property because they're fucking retarded. And now to see if this environmental disaster is frozen shut or not. Okay, the seal of doom has been broken. Just look at that fucking steering wheel. It's brown. Seat cover's not doing a goddamn thing to protect you from dying. I think I'll just grab this seat cover, so I don't get AIDS from the Beretta. Okay, that makes me feel a little bit better, even though it really shouldn't. You fucking piece of shit. Okay, it's the following day. Battery's in. Let's see if we have a little bit of ding ding. Okay, we got the ding ding. I can hear that the engine's still there, so I don't see what the problem is. I'm kind of surprised it drove out of here without clearing out that passenger side, really. You want to be super careful not to damage the glass in any way as you're doing this. So what you saw earlier was the driver's door. Doesn't fucking open from the inside. I thought if I rolled down the window I could grab this, but no, for some reason the door locked. So I had to crawl out the passenger side of this fucking biohazard. I honestly have no fucking idea where the knock went. It's running like pretty fucking fine right now for some reason. That's almost respectable, like, Jesus. So I wasn't going to do this, but for the sake of safety, I think we'll take along expired fire extinguisher. Because everything around here, you know, safety is priority number one. This is fine. Okay, I think we'll let that cool down for just a second. Well, this is a bit of an issue. I was actually expecting far more, carnage under here. This hasn't ran in probably 4-ish months. I'm gonna just crank it without trying to get it to fire for a second to build oil pressure. Fucking mint. If that hauls its ass out of there, we might be able to get a somewhat cool shot. Fucking easy peasy lemon squeezy. It doesn't sound all that bad for a grandma car. So this is a 1976 Ford Gran Torino. It's pretty fucking nice. Bucket seat center console car. It's not the best looking Torino. The government sure finds a way to fuck that up. But I like it. I'm gonna just let it run here and defrost for a few minutes while I'm plowing. It'll be nice to get some of the moisture out of here. I haven't been in the trunk in a while, so let's take a little peek at what might be hiding in here. Well, that's frozen. You can almost tell there's a 38 Chevy sitting here now. Well, did that need to be done? No, probably not. Does it make me feel better? Yes. Honestly, this thing doesn't do all that bad going up our snowy hill on summer tires, doing about 20. It's pretty darn respectable, actually. Well, there she be. We made it all the way to the top of the hill to the cluster of mailboxes. I made 2 nice spots of ice, letting all those horses run free here for those 10 minutes. I'm sure I'm not going to fall on my ass on this at all later. That's fine. Sounds like there's a chance of freezing rain tonight, so I figured I'd throw the tarp back on it just to protect the vinyl a bit. 27 fucking years old. It's kind of showing its age, but, you know, that's a respectable interior. It's a little 5-speed, 4-cylinder car. It got 40 miles a gallon when I drove it down to Palmer. I must say there's something oddly satisfying about clearing off a vehicle that has sat all winter and you get the big chunks coming off. Pretty much the only good thing about winter, but it's something. And here we have a 1938 Chevy Master Deluxe sedan. Just look at this mix of colors. I believe this door opens. That's a 69 Charger tail light housing, and that's a 69 Charger glove box. Only what you need, nothing more. But yeah, those pop out, which is pretty fucking cool. This door panel is the best of the 4. I'm sure it's made of mostly just asbestos and shit, but cleaned up. Okay, so the story here is it sat off Chena Hot Springs Road for years and years and years and years. And one day, when the guy was plowing snow with his tractor, he hit the roof of the car here with the bucket, and then he kind of got pissed at the car and gave it away, and it's passed hands a few times until it ended up in the yard here. Otherwise, it was going to go to the scrap yard, so couldn't let that happen. And in this massive trunk, there are some other bits and pieces here. You can see just how well the floor has survived. Plenty of room for moonshine in there. I'm not sure if it's going to run. I've seen worse run on YouTube, but they also have far more talent than I do. I would love to hear what these horns sound like. I bet you that's awesome. I'm one of those people who thinks history is of the utmost importance, and being a car guy, I'm drawn towards the automotive aspect of that. And when you realize this car squeaked by being manufactured right before World War II, it kind of puts a lot of things into perspective. So often anymore, it seems like that kind of thing is taught as if it's ancient history in schools now, and it's really not. There's only 60 years between this car and this car. I don't know what the fuck happened during those 60 years, but we made some wrong turns somewhere. Now, when I mention that I feel cars like these have historical importance, that doesn't mean they should just be squirreled away in garages and barns and sheds. Okay, so present me just blew out his back and got a couple hernias digging out the Impala so that future me tomorrow can just throw a heater on it and hopefully go rip donuts or something. We'll need to see. Hey, this is just a car addict, the fat guy with the beard and the red coat whose image hasn't been stolen by Coca-Cola's marketing department. Today we have a 1970 Chevy Impala. I dug this out last night, hoping that today would be a simple, cold start, move it around the yard, maybe rip up and down the road. Well, I didn't realize how cold future me was going to be. It's about 5 below zero right now. I gotta grab the battery out of the charger, hoping that is held a charge. No pun intended. I'm not that bright. Now I get to play a game called Where the Fuck Did I Leave My Battery? I swear to God, if I dig this whore out and there's no battery in here, I'm gonna be pissed. Get over here, you piece of shit. And remember, Sis Mate. Goddamn, there's just something about a nice blue with natural patina. I don't know what it is, but it always looks fucking great. So if you hadn't noticed, this is a 4-door hardtop. And if too bad it's a 4-door just went through your head, eat shit. Take a look at that. And then take a look at the 38. And that's still green, so that's great. I'm just now realizing this car was fully winterized, so this has been a total waste of time. Gotta remember where the fucking dipstick is on this. Right up at the full. Blacker than my soul, but that's fine. Bigfoot. We have the danger lights. Well, it's almost like the car is stuck into the snow berm. I would have no idea why. Okay, so it's not that much of a fan of the road. I'm just trying to make it to the top of the hill. Made it down to the mailbox, would try to go up to the other cluster to turn around to back in correctly. And it stalled out halfway up the hill. I was just fucking spinning. So backed it all the way down around the blind curve, which was, yeah, I have heartburn now. We have the danger lights. The problem here is that it has sunk down into the mud where I parked it about 5 months ago. Just enough that getting forward momentum here is being a little bit of a pain in the dick. I love the really deep orange paint this has with the black primer showing through on some of these worn areas here. I really appreciate the contrast to that. In general, this just looks fantastic because it has probably my favorite combo of all time: orange, brown, black with a black interior. This is like the epitome of Halloween going down the road.